Welcome back, Hawk fans, to your on-campus interview. I'm your host, Cheyenne Jacobs, here with Ellia. I'll have you introduce yourself.
I'm Ellia Soydara, and I'm here for Psych Club.
Perfect. So, what initially sparked your interest to pursue a psychology degree?
For me, it started in high school. I took a psych class for the first time my senior year, and that was like, it just clicked kind of. And I realized how like a lot of just my personality kind of flows into that, and it's relatively easy for me compared to other subjects.
And what psychological field are you hoping to go into?
I want to go into forensic psychology.
So that is what?
So basically forensic psychology, it bridges that gap in the court of law. So forensics is having to deal with crime and law, and that there's definitely like a lot of different ways I could go about doing it, but a very common thing is to act as like a professional witness and to help the jury understand like the psychological aspects behind crimes.
Perfect. And how have the psychology professors at DSU kind of like aided and helped you through your education so far?
I just say it's a very like personal experience here. Having small enough classrooms, I know my professors know me, and I can like go to them after class and like have a conversation with them, ask them for advice, like expand on anything I've been wondering about, and they're like all for it.
Yeah, for sure. I think most professors here are like that.
Yeah, I think so.
What has been your favorite part about Psych Club, or just being a psychology major in general?
Being here, it's just been nice, like, getting to know other people, like, interested in the field. I haven't really experienced that as much before, and getting to hear their stories and what they're interested in.
Yeah, for sure. And have you run into any challenges while studying psychology?
Nothing beyond, like, the normal, like, sometimes there's tougher assignments or, like, you hit a wall when you're trying to write. But it's, like, it's nothing you can't work through. Whether you get help from friends or professors or whatnot.
Yeah. And what events has Psychology Club participated in here at DSU?
So as of recently, the fall, we had the Harvest Festival, we do the Boo Hawks, and then just like any other like little organizations we can like pop up our club to talk to people about. That happens. Last year we did the Narcan training, which I think we're gonna be working on to like continue to do.
Definitely really important.
Like, looking forward to doing that most of all.
Yeah, and I participated in that, and that was really cool to just kind of learn and see. And kind of, it was a lot of DSU students, but also community members who came in, and then you get the free Narcan, and you can, have that, and so you're educated on how to use it, and that was really nice to, know to have kind of in your back pocket. And then we ask this to everyone on Hawk Talk. What does DSU mean to you? For me personally, it's definitely a place for opportunity, and it's kind of just become like my second home away from home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the golf team helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming on and representing Psych Club. This was a good interview.
Thanks for having me.
Now to In Studio.
Perfect.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hawk Talk. I'm your in-studio host, Xander Beeson. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. I'll have you introduce yourself.
Very special.
Very special.
I'm Josh Nicholes. I'm the E-Sports Coordinator at Dickinson State University.
All right. What brought you to DSU?
I actually graduated from DSU. I was born in Louisiana, started the second grade in Dickinson, and then went to middle school here, high school here, and then DSU, graduated and started working here doing various roles, and eventually wherever they pay me I go. And so I got the esports role and have been sort of building that along with my other duties at DSU.
Okay, I've always kind of referred to myself as Mr. DSU with all the stuff I'm involved in, but I think you might have just taken that title from me.
No. We'll share it. We'll share it.
Okay, co-Mr. DSU. So like you said, you kind of started off doing a bunch of different things. When did you start getting involved with the esports? Is that something you started yourself, or was it already kind of established?
Yeah, so a few of our administrators in 2019 went to a conference and they were learning a little bit about esports, and they thought, well, okay, this is something that we might want to dabble into. And with North Dakota, a lot of times we're not the first people to do things. We like to test the waters out nationwide and then see what we're going to do. And so in 2019, they were really thinking ahead of the game. With the organization that we first joined that was really starting esports, National Association of Collegiate Esports, there was about 30 to 50 organizations in the beginning, including DSU. And after COVID and within the next couple of years, they were up over 350. So we were really some of the pioneers. We were the first public school. Jamestown had started some esports stuff before us, but we were the first public school in North Dakota that had esports.
Okay. What has been your favorite memory or the most fun part about being a part of this program?
As the coordinator, especially for a small school, small program, I'm everything. I'm the driver, I'm the custodian, I'm a part-time streamer, I do all those things. And so really going on the road to some of the LAN events with the team and, getting to be at the live matches and, the car rides, 8 hours alone with 5 guys in a van can be, but we have a lot of fun and joking and stuff like that. And so it's really nice getting to be with the team at those matches and see them perform in front of people, which is way different than being in our varsity lab and performing, individually.
You guys, you kind of touched on it, but what do those competitions look like? How many in-person ones do you guys get the opportunity to go to? Are you able to fly somewhere if the opportunity arises, or is it mostly just kind of those joining online kind of deals? Yeah,
so the great thing about esports, even from a financial perspective, is unless we do well, we don't have to travel. And so most of the stuff is online for the seeding and those matches and the general season. And then if we make it to the championships or something like that, then we could go. And that might be, flying to Atlanta for DreamHacks for, the large competition. It might be just driving to Sioux Falls for, a competition at a local venue or something like that. We tend to do more of the local regional things just because that's closer within proximity. But it really is based on how the teams do. So if they perform really well, we can go all over the place. Also, some of our teams are involved in multiple competitions. We had a Valorant team one year, our same Valorant team, but the one year we did it, they were in 5 different competitions, 5 different rule sets, 5 different possibilities to go places. And so it really just depends on the game and the tournament.
And you guys, do you prefer playing, like joining online and playing from DSU, or do you like to travel, going to see all those other different places?
I think it's kind of a mixed bag. Like, it's nice not having to travel 8 hours for a tournament, but once we get there, then there's the excitement. You're filled with the room, you got the arena kind of setting, you got an audience, you can perform that way. And so it's sort of a mixed bag. Like, obviously it's great not to have to travel that distance all the time, but yeah, we have great locations on campus, so our varsity players have a lot of options with our varsity space, and they're able to really get in there and play whenever they want. And so that sort of becomes their home away from home. I mean, we have our, Sodexo is right next door to us, so we have the bathrooms and stuff. They could really just live there. And so I think it becomes a comfort to be there, but then it's exciting to travel. It's like going on vacation and then feeling good about coming back home.
Okay. What kind of opportunities arise from being a part of esports? Because I know there's been some people like Keaton Meshke when we had Rocket League, who's on the football team, was also in esports. There's been baseball players that have done esports, track athletes that have done esports. Is there any extra opportunities that come from being a part of esports?
Yeah, we have a lot of dual athletes over the years, and that's whether they're doing off season or it's just an interest that they have. Because I think traditional sports, I mean, they're coming here for a certain thing, but they don't even know esports is an option because it's still very much growing. And so when we have students that are interested in those things, we want to provide that opportunity for them. One of our Valorant players now, Jacob Scully, he had an injury and he couldn't play baseball, and so he came over to our team and was playing while he was injured and was still able to compete in a varsity setting. And so that was really a great opportunity for him. We also like to provide training opportunities beyond the varsity sports. So we have a gaming club with leadership roles. We offer scholarships for those. We have the streaming options and broadcast stuff. You can be photography, graphic design, web development, and we can find a role for you there to sort of develop those skills within not just the esports industry, but beyond that as well. And scholarships available for those too.
That's awesome. Make sure you remember that, anyone who's interested in esports. So I know with esports kind of being a newer thing, some older people, like parents, don't necessarily understand it. I know from like my experience when I came on my visit for football, we passed by, and I think we spoke with you, and we talked about your esports. When I bring people on tours, I always try to have them stop because you never know who's interested in esports, what's available. How do you kind of deal with those parents that might not understand it, or because I remember my dad said right when we got done talking to you, he was like, video games is a sport. They just don't understand it. How do you deal with that with those kind of parents?
Well, there's two things. One, everybody plays games.
Yeah.
Every age plays games, and if it goes back to the time where you had the scoreboard at the top of the pinball machine, that's a game. I mean, and you wanted to get the high score, and you wanted to be competitive to get that high score and to have your initials on the board.
Yeah.
Even back to those times, we had gaming and we have that competitive nature. So games are for everyone. It's not prohibitive. But then also, I tell parents specifically, I'm like, if you think that your student or your son or daughter are going to come here and they're going to play games and that's all they're going to do, they're not going to work on academics. Academics is first for us.
Yeah.
You have to be in class and you have to get good grades, or you're not going to be on the team.
Yeah.
You have to be able to pay for school. Finances is great. We don't want you to walk out of here with a lot of debt. So we try to make sure we hone those things as well. But then the gaming itself, if you're going to spend 20 hours in your dorm room playing games, would you rather that student do it alone, or would you rather do it in a setting with other people?
Yeah.
Would you rather have some mentorship available? Would you rather have them out of their room and not just isolated?
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing games anyway. Do you want them doing it with me under my kind of supervision and with some of those other interactions, or alone?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And plus the scholarships that you talked about.
Oh, absolutely.
Get paid to play video games. I'm sure most people would kill for that opportunity.
We have 2 graduate assistants right now as well. We just got a new one, came from Texas. So Toby's weathering the weather to be here. But we have graduate opportunities. We also have 2 business degrees that we've added. So we're really expanding not only into the varsity, but beyond that as well.
Okay. So kind of like our fun question of the day. If you could be stuck in any video game universe, which would you choose?
Okay, this is really sad. So I don't play as many video games as I used to. Now that I'm working with video games, it changes the dynamic. And I remember the Power Wash Simulator. Have you played that?
No, but I've heard of
It
tons
is
of
the
those
most
simulator
boring simulation game. And one day I turned on the PS5 and I'm laying in bed and I turn this thing on. I'm power washing, and all of a sudden hours passed. And I'm like, you couldn't get me to wash something in real life.
Yeah.
But you give me a controller and I'll stay all day and do that. So so I don't know if I want to be trapped in that game, but it's definitely one I would recommend trying to kill some time. So
Okay. We kind of spoke before the camera started rolling. What's in store for the esports team in terms of competition or events that you guys have going on?
Valorant is our primary team right now. They are working really hard and just started the season. They just had their first kind of seeding game this week. So they are going to be heavy into competition this season. We're looking to add games over the course of this semester as like a trial run, Call of Duty, Rocket League, some other things. And then we're recruiting really heavily for the fall to expand things. And again, that includes not only the varsity stuff, but beyond. We're also doing a lot of partnerships with the community. So we're partnering with West River Community Center. They're going to be doing their teen nights at Dickinson State, and we're going to have a variety of game opportunities. We're going to work with the DSU Shooting Club to do some shooting sims. We have a racing sim that we just built that we're going to work with. We're going to have all sorts of games, tabletop and otherwise. And so that's going to be the first Saturday of every month for the next few months. So February 1st, this Saturday is the first one. And then that hopefully will expand also into the West River Community Center, helping us get engaged with high schools for the state tournaments that are offered here to try to get those students resources they need, because the schools can't necessarily afford all the equipment. They can partner with DSU and use our equipment.
So like you said, Saturday, February 1st, if that's something you're interested in doing, show up to the Student Center, video games. What time does that start? How long does it go?
It's going to be from 6 to 9 o'clock-ish. We'll hang out a little longer if people want to stay, but we like to give the parents a little idea when their teens will be home. So.
All right, stop by, have some fun. Last question, we ask this to everybody that comes on Hawk Talk. What does DSU mean to you?
DSU, again, I graduated from here. I've worked in a variety of roles. DSU provides opportunities for students. And for me, DSU, in many ways, changed the course of my life. And we could do a whole Hawk Talk on that about the various ways. But one interaction, for me, changed the entire course of my life and what I do and how I operate with the world and how I view leadership. And so those little micro moments are the things that our faculty, staff, and students provide each other. And so if you're at DSU, find that one little moment that is going to impact your life and move forward. And DSU did that for me, and I think it could do it for everybody.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know it was kind of a struggle. We were fighting for weeks trying to get this thing scheduled, but I appreciate you coming on.
I'm so in demand.
You're a busy guy, I get it. But I appreciate you coming on, and we will see you guys next week.
60 Seconds with Orton. I'm your 60 Seconds with Orton host, Christopher Kistler. Mr. President Ty Orton, what advice would you give to a younger you?
I don't know. Younger me, that was, wow. Because everything that I did when I was younger got me to the point that I'm at now. So there's a lot of things that, when you hear that question, there's things that, what would you change about the younger you? I don't know if I would. I don't think I have those regrets. Have I done dumb things? Totally. Yes. Have I made bad decisions? Have I done things that I shouldn't have done? And I did learn from that. Take a step back and make sure you're looking at the entire situation. At that time, I think I figured out late in the game how to control my emotions more than I should have. That was probably be a younger coach in me. Take a step back and 2 sides to every story and make sure you hear them both and then make a decision off of that.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. President.
I got a question.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, you ready for this? So you were invited to the foundation Christmas party.
Correct.
Did you win anything?
I did. I won a waffle maker and a mug warmer.
And a mug warmer. Okay, so have you used either one yet?
I've used the waffle maker.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, so we were wondering.
I used it next morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Did you enjoy that night?
I did.
Okay.
I did. That was a nice night.
I'm glad. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night.
So
Thank you.
No, thank you for answering my question.
What's up, Hawk fans? This is Emma Welch back with your DSU Weekly Sports Recap. The men's wrestling team traveled to Marshall, Missouri to compete in the Missouri Valley College Invitational, where the team took 8th place. The men's team is going to be taking on Minot State this weekend, as well as competing in the Memorial Tournament at Dickinson on Saturday. Good luck to the men's wrestling team. The women's wrestling team is headed to Grandview Open in Des Moines, Iowa this weekend, so good luck to the ladies and keep up the hard work. The men's and women's basketball team is traveled to Bellevue, where the Hawks took some tough losses. The next day, the teams traveled to Dak State, where the men's team took home the win 63-58. Both teams will travel to take on the Jimmies tomorrow, so good luck to both these amazing teams. The indoor track teams went to UMary last week, where the men's team took 4th and the women's team took home the 1st place title. The track teams will travel to Brookings, South Dakota for the SDSU Open next week, so looking forward to hearing some of those scores. So good luck and keep up the good work. Next up, the cheer team had their first ever Dickinson State in-person cheer competition, where the Hawks had a clean sweep against Northwestern and Carroll College with great scores of 95.3 and 93.3. The baseball team will be starting their season on Saturday, traveling to Mitchell, South Dakota to take on Dakota Wesleyan. They'll play 2 games there, so good luck to the baseball team on their opening for their season. That's all I got for you guys this week. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Consolidated, for the continued support. Until next time, Hawks are up.